Dr. Kyle Jensen was a very accomplished scientist. He had finally, after many years, been able to afford his own lab, a personal lab that he did his experiments for his employer. He was also able to perform his own experiments, and it finally came to him one day that he should work on a real life version of his favorite childhood superhero, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But it wasn't going to be that super cliched. He had a plan. He had a brilliant idea. And if he could get it to work, he could definitely see making money off of it. So he would take the DNA of the snapping turtle, but to make it more realistic, he added some different things to the DNA. He was having trouble combining them when one night his lab was struck by lightning during a thunderstorm. The electricity went out, but when it came back on, all seemed well. Days went by and the growth of the turtle was amazing. He viewed the cells under the microscope and was pleased with the results. He saw the DNA expand and he was able to feed it with more electricity because that seems what it needed in order to, perpetuate the continual growth. So he did that. He logged his notes, he filed things, and about a week after the incident happened, he was writing up a letter to the U.S. military because he knew they'd be interested in weaponizing the creature. He hadn't checked on it in almost a day. He heard a terrible crashing sound, and he looked through his door and saw the monstrous turtle tearing into things. It roared, and its footsteps were heavy as it came toward the door where he was. He was so frightened. He did not want to call the emergency 911 because he didn't want anybody else to die. But he figured if there was no electricity to feed the thing, it would die. He did not want that either. He didn't want to die, but he heard it pounding on the door. He slipped the letter in the mail through his mail slot and hit send on his email. So now there was proof. He knew that the cameras would capture everything as well. But he left the lab and shut the door behind him and ran. He wouldn't know what would become of the turtle, but he knew he was still alive.